I'm attempting to read 200 pages a day for the next 7 days. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tim. I'm a reader, I'm a writer, I'm a creator, and this is a lofty challenge. In the recent couple of weeks, I've been doom scrolling a little bit more than what I would have liked. And so I've decided to break that circuit and break that cycle, and reading 200 pages a day felt like this lofty, unachievable goal, but might be exactly what I need. There's two reasons for that. It doesn't give me any time to waste, particularly with working full-time, writing, creating these videos and running. And the second thing, which I think is really important, is I love a challenge. I love the nitty-gritty of not knowing if you can complete it or not. I love turning up and trying. I love forcing myself into something that's incredibly uncomfortable. Why? Because I'm a little bit of a sicko. It's a bit of fun. So come join me for that. And if I was to add a third reason, which I will right now, is that I set some really lofty reading goals for 2026. And I have had a really slow start in the reading department, even though I'm really excited to read all the books that are on my list. I'm reading 2 books to start off this challenge. The first is Jane Harper, Last One Out. At the time of filming, I'm about 150 pages into this one. If I'm reading 200 pages a day, I will absolutely demolish this one here. The second one is Foster by Claire Keegan. I've really enjoyed Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and I saw this at work this week and was making a video for a different time and figured that this was a good one to pick up and read. I love a short book. It really helps the momentum of these sorts of challenges. Anyway, 200 pages a day for the next 7 days. Do you think I can do it? Let's find out. I've been reading for most of the day today while getting a coffee and doing a few jobs here and there. And I think this is going to be one immense challenge when I go back to work tomorrow to get enough reading in. However, I was actually on page 250 of this Jane Harper epic thriller novel that I'm really enjoying thus far. And I'm now on page 310, which means that I have read 60 pages of this one thus far. And Foster by Claire Keegan finished this one, 100 pages. So I'm about 160 pages in for the day. I've got a few more hours here, and I think I'll do a little bit more reading, get those pages done, and cook some dinner and organize a few different things, edit a video. And yeah, I'm going to call it there for day 1. I will see you back for day 2. But yeah, this is going to be a crazy challenge. So stick around and stay with me because yeah, let's see if I can do this because I've got absolutely no idea. I will also add a quick note. I adore reading and I love reading, and 200 pages is unsustainable and unrealistic. I know that, and I probably shouldn't be doing a challenge like this set around page numbers and completing a goal. I just kind of thought it would be fun. I thought it'd make a fun video. And I also just figured really challenge me as a reader, because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to become a better reader. I'm still trying to become a better writer and a storyteller. And I figure that trying different things and seeing if you can connect some dots can overall, at the end of the day, help you out in some way, shape, or form. Also, this page number thing is absolutely ridiculous and it is hard, and yeah, that's kind of fun. All right, 200 pages a day is a lot of pages. It's pretty late here. It's about 11 p.m. But I'm having a nice time reading this much for this long. It has been really immersive and I'm really getting involved and engaged in it, which is cool. So that's fun. I'm reading and I'm enjoying it. All that to say that I've got another 5 days here and yeah, should be fun. G'day, I just want to provide a little update and an observation, if you will. I've just finished up a run, had a shower, and now I'm going to work on a Substack post for a little bit here. The update of this challenge so far is I'm on day 3 here, and I've got about 100 pages left for the day. It is 7:53. So a couple more hours of reading, give or take. While I'm finding this challenge quite difficult, because trying to fit your life around something that is so time dependent as reading and reading 200 pages a day, I'm also finding that I'm pushing myself as a reader. I'm finding that I need to be a little bit more deliberate to make it work and to put it together in one way, shape or form, which has been quite enjoyable. I'm finding myself really immersed, really engaged in the reading, but also trying to find little efficiencies and trying to get almost in a bit of a flow with the reading, which is not something I find myself in as often as I used to. I feel like I get distracted every few minutes with a phone or a buzz, and because I need to maximize my time this week to make this challenge work, I find myself really having to focus on the reading, which has been really cool. I'm almost finished Paula Hawkins' The Blue Hour, and I'm going to read Melaleuca next. I'm already 100 pages into this one, I believe, and it's been sitting on my bedside table, got distracted with other cool books, so I'll be reading that next. But all that to say that I'm getting through some books this week and I'm really enjoying the challenge so far, while also realizing the fragility in all of this. Anyway, that's on my update on day 3. Day 4 and 5 are going to be some pretty busy days, particularly with the work schedule, particularly with wanting to write up this Substack post and some friends coming over tomorrow evening. So if I'm going to unravel on any of the days, it's likely tomorrow and the day after. I'll let you know how that goes. Also, just a small side note, this is a great thriller. Follows the story of an artist who has passed away and her exhibit being in a museum, and them thinking that one of the bones in one of the artifacts is a human bone, and all of a sudden one of the museum staff goes back through the artist's past and goes to the island that she spent so many years and her friend spent so many years on, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm quite digging it. Anyway, back to reading it. All right, it is day 5. I didn't film a single moment of day 4 yesterday as I was too busy. Did I get my pages done? Yes, I did. Yes, I managed to get them done even as my eyes were closing throughout the final 10 pages last night. It's day 5 of this challenge, and I'm gearing up to go for a run. If you can't tell, it's cold, it's dark, I've just finished work. I've got far too many pages to read this evening. I've probably got 140 to go or something like that. So I'm going to go get this run in. It's my last one of the week. I'm tired. Tomorrow's my Friday. And Also, how cool is this little safety band? Ready? This is satisfying. Oh, so good. I really don't want to go run. I really don't want to complete the rest of today. And I find that often, particularly at the end of my week, and I've just found myself forcing myself through the initial steps of those things. And it usually just gets me out the door, at least far enough to get out the door. And then when I'm out the door, I'm all right. This challenge has been really interesting because between trying to fit it in between my full-time job and running and my social life and writing and YouTube and everything else, I feel like I am not quite keeping up, which is okay. I'm still getting that part done, but trying to read on certain days for over 4 hours is a little bit too long to try be reading and to try be efficient as a reader. Other days it's a little bit quicker, but truthfully, I'm a slow reader when it comes to it. And 4 hours for 200 pages is pretty standard for me, if not a little bit more, if not a little bit less. Which is to say, while this is a fun challenge, there is 0 ounce of this that is sustainable with the life I currently live. At a certain point in my life when I had less obligations and less things to turn up to, this was a pretty standard for me. And right now, it's just not. I'm lucky if I can really fit an hour in each day. And I'm slowly accepting that that is going to have to be enough for the time being. Well, g'day. It is day 6 of this challenge, and I feel like I've lost my brain a little bit and lost the plot. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you if yesterday I completed my pages. I feel like I did. I'm kind of lost track of the number, but I'll need to add it up at some point and see. But I finished the new book, which is great. Really enjoyed it. Really good twist in Melaleuca. I'm currently making some dinner. This is like a spoon. I hope you can see this. This is like a spoon that my friend Greg made me for Christmas. It's now what I use for cooking, which is really nice. Anyway, I'm just cooking some dinner, getting settled into the evening. It is now my official weekend, which is quite nice. And I'm going to get some reading done. I am reading Bob Brown's Defiance, all about a new generation of people standing up for what is right. I'm about 20 pages in, really enjoying it. This is nonfiction, as you can probably already tell. And I'm also going to be reading a new fiction because I like to have a nonfiction and a fiction on the go. And dearest viewer, it is finally time to read something I've been putting off for a very long time. Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. I've just heard great things, and it's time to start this, hopefully what I will find a novel that really connects and I really enjoy. It's a chunky novel, and I think that's probably a pretty good novel for a 200-page challenge. I've got a little bit less than 400 pages for the remainder of this challenge. It has been a hard challenge. It's been a busy week, a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights to make this work. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of it. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to make some dinner, making some pesto pasta, which is quite lovely. My girlfriend's probably sick of it because I cook a lot of pesto pasta. But nothing wrong with pesto pasta, I think. I'm probably going to read a little bit more of Bob Brown's Defiance, clean up, have some dinner, chill out, and I will see you on the final day of this challenge. Gee whiz, almost 900 pages. I think we're in for a bit of a treat on this one. I actually think it's still filming. So I also didn't realize this won a Pulitzer Prize. So really keen to read it. This is Stephen King's favorite novel, if you didn't already know, which is what brought it to my radar and brought it to a lot of people's radars. And curious. Never read a Western before, so that'll be fun. All right, we have reached the end of this challenge. Day 7 is done and dusted of reading 200 pages a day for 7 days. Here's a little recap. I finished 5 books in this challenge, which was awesome. I've got Foster by Claire Keegan, talked about it in last week's video. Pretty short book, but really glad that I got the opportunity to read it in this challenge. The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmer. This was a bit over 100 pages. Also finished this one and just, I loved it. I thought it was really great, really creatively done, but also a real call out to those people that are taking advantage of the abundance that we have in this world and trying to make as much money off it as they can. And I just found that really powerful in its own respect. Paula Hawkins, 300-page thriller, The Bluest Hour. This was fun. This was engaging. The twist didn't quite catch me off guard. I kind of knew what was going to happen, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. I thought that the premise was good. I thought that the story was good. I thought that the pacing was fantastic. And really glad to have read that one there. Melaleuca by Angie Faye Martin. This was an awesome thriller set in a remote town in Queensland, Australia. Hidden from the world, 2 girls went missing 30 years before, and a cop who grew up in that town and has returned to look after her aging mother is tasked when they find the dead body of an Aboriginal girl on the river to uncover the murder of this girl. And it doubles 2 crimes together and puts it all together as one, and it ties in neatly, and it is clever and it has some Indigenous history in its own right, and that was fantastic. And I just really enjoyed it. 400 and something pages, and I had a fun time. And the last one, and yes, I know that I read quite a few thrillers in this challenge. Thrillers are fast paced for me. I really enjoy them. It is the genre that I'm writing in. It is the genre that I love. So I'm not too hard pressed on that one. But the last one out by Jane Harper, this thriller was awesome. I'm going to talk about it more in another video, so I'm not going to go too in depth here, but it follows the story of a young man who doesn't return home on his 21st birthday and the family that has to deal with the fallout of him not returning home. All that's left is a few footprints in the dirt and a rental car and a bit of footage from a drone, and that's what they have to deal with and contend with. And Jane Harper's one of the best thriller writers in the game, and I was probably only a quarter of the way into this one when I began the challenge, so finishing that was awesome. Really got some momentum building and cooking for the next thing. And there's 2 books that I started in this challenge but have not completed as of yet. Bob Brown, Defiance. I'm about halfway through that one, little under halfway. Really enjoying it. Calling out activism, really pushing what I think activism should be and how to protect the future of our planet when profit comes over the future for us. And Bob Brown is one of the key instigators in saving the Franklin River in Tasmania from being dammed back in the 70s or 80s. I'm not entirely sure, but he's talking about his activism here. He's calling out a new generation of young people towards activism and really trying to protect what is feeling like a hopeless cause. And I'm enjoying learning from his lessons in this one here. And the final one, I'm really enjoying this so far. Lonesome Dove. This is a book that I've been meaning to read for a long time. I'm about 200 odd pages in. It's a thick book. I'm really enjoying it. It's been a really nice time. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say so far. There's another video for this one coming up, but this one's a chunker. I'm having a great time. I've never read a Western, so it's been a real eye-opener in a lot of different ways. Anyway, all that to say, this has been a really engaging, fun, and interesting challenge over the last 7 days. And here are my 3 takeaways. The first takeaway, and this is something that I knew from the very beginning, this is not sustainable. Trying to absorb this much reading and this much content while I am a big reader is too much content and too much reading. It gives you no space in between the books that you finish. You finish one book and you have to pick up the next book almost instantly in order to get through the amount of pages that you're reading. The second note or takeaway is that reading is thinking, as I've said before, and reading at this kind of quantity doesn't give you the time to think. It doesn't give you the time to reflect. It doesn't give you the time to enjoy and savor the moment of finishing a book and really just getting that time to immerse and think and engage and critically be a part of whatever you just read, whatever that might be. And the third is that this actually stopped my doom scrolling. There was a level of I needed to read a certain amount of pages every single day in order to complete this challenge, and it gave me less time to do all those things. And I think if we can replace our doom scrolling, our internet habits with reading, we will feel better, because I felt better at the end of this challenge. I felt better at the end of my days. I felt better with this direction that I was taking in order to accomplish this challenge. I felt engaged in the writing. I felt engaged in the story. I felt engaged in the pages. And there's something to be said for that after having felt like I've been distracted quite frequently. And over the course of the week, I felt like those distractions were less imminent and I could overcome them with a little bit more clarity. And whilst I can attest that this is not a very functional challenge, nor sustainable, nor something that I am going to do again anytime soon, it was a powerful challenge, and I do feel better for doing this challenge, and it has sparked me to want to read more than I would like to scroll, and that is something. And it feels better internally, and I feel like I'm practicing a little bit more of what I preach. If you have made it this far in the video, thank you for joining me. I'm not really sure how this video is going to turn out. We're going to edit it soon and find out. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comments if you've liked it. Let me know if this is going to spark your own challenge, or has got you reading, or has shown you a new book that perhaps you might be interested in. In the meantime, take care of yourself, take care of one another, and I will see you back here next week.